Okay, now that your registration is complete, it's time to go ahead and add your first website to the iBuild portal. So from your main account, you're going to click on Website Management. You're going to scroll down to the bottom, and this is where you're going to be able to enter your first website information. It's going to ask you for the site URL and post URL. Go ahead and enter the same thing in both, unless you are going to have us post to a different page. So for example, in the site URL, it's going to be the main website that you're actually going to be applying for. You need to put in a full address, http://www, whatever the website is, dot whatever. In a post URL, if we are posting username and passwords to your site, then you need to go ahead and put whatever page we're posting it to. So whether it's a success.aspx, login.aspx, whatever page you want the return post code sent to, you would put that in there. If you are not using this feature, then just copy the same thing you have as your site URL. Once you hit submit, it will populate down here in a pending area. Now at this point in time, there's really nothing you can do until we contact you in regards to the application for the new website. Once we reviewed it, and if there was any changes necessary and you made those changes, it would show up in the approved section, which would allow you to manage it. If the application was declined, then it would show in the decline field because we weren't able to process the application even if you made changes to the website. So once it's approved, you will get an email confirmation and then you can go ahead and get started on it. So let's go ahead and approve this website so you can see how it looks. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and come back down to the bottom, and now we can see the site's approved. Site URL is a link directly to your website. The post URL is going to be the website again. If we hover over it, it'll actually show us the xxx.com. Post script, if we are doing the password management on our side, then what's going to happen is you're going to click on the view for PostScript, and this is what you're going to need to put into your login page. So therefore, it actually sends the variables to us to check to make sure that that login user is a valid user or not. Once that is done, then we can come to the Manage Users, and this is where the database of all your customers are going to be. If you have somebody who signs up, it's going to enter them right here. This is an admin that we entered. If you want to give out a free account to a friend or something, you would put in the username, the password, and the expiration date you want the account to expire on. You can edit it by clicking on Edit, or you can delete the record entirely by clicking on Delete. It's going to ask you if you're sure you want to do it. You click Yes, and now there's no more users in your database because we deleted the only one that was in there. So now we'll go back to the main management page. Manage buttons. This one is where you're going to set up your payment buttons. Okay. If we are going to do your password management for you, let me go back first. If we are going to do your password, if we're not going to do your password management, you don't have to worry about this script at all. But for the most part, if it is a membership site, we are posting something to you. If we are sending an HT access to you, you don't need to use your post script. Manage users, you can still create a user account from here and it will write it to your htaccess file. Manage buttons. Let's go ahead and click on the Manage Buttons, and then from here you're going to have a couple options. You're going to have products and services. This is if you have a store, a cart, anything like that. One-time billing and subscription reoccurring. So let's do one-time first. One-time billing is when you want to charge somebody one time and not a reoccurring. So let's go ahead and name the button. We'll name it $24.95 non-reoccurring. Okay, so we'll put in the amount of $24.95. If it's going to expire or not, we'll just put it for 1 month. If it is a password protected site and we are posting to you, you do want to make sure that Show Make User Page After Successful Payment is checked. You click Submit. This is going to give you the script. Okay, you can come down to the bottom, click on Select, right click, copy it, and then paste it wherever you want on your browser and upload your page, and you'll see a button on there. You can rename that button or whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the top. And we're going to go ahead and come down here and click on our Manage Buttons again. And as you can see, there's that one-time button, $24.95, non-reoccurring. If you want to view that script again, all you have to do is click it right there. It'll populate right up. You also have the option on the right-hand side to edit the button if you need to change the amount, or delete the button if you no longer want the button. So let's go back up a little bit here, and what we'll do is we will create a subscription button. So the subscription button, let's go ahead and do a $39.99 per month. We'll select this for the month. Where it says try to bill customer again after failed attempt, that's going to be checked as a yes, because if the credit card's declined, we'll try them again automatically in 7 days. If you want to offer a free trial to your customer, you would check this box. So let's put $3.99 and we'll give them, let's say 3 days at that. Again, show make user page. So what's going to happen basically, which we just created, is we created one button that when somebody signs up, it will allow them access to that site for 3 days for the $3.99. And then if they have not canceled by then, it would automatically bill them $39.99 a month until they cancel. We click submit. It will give us the button code for that one as well. Now a shortcut to this, if you have multiple buttons and you don't want to copy and paste all these codes, is to use the drop-down link. Basically with the drop-down link, all you have to do is copy this little code right here and paste it on your site. You do not need to paste those codes for the buttons if you choose so. You're going to want to do one or the other, but not both. By using this, it'll create one button for as many payment options as you have. The customer would click on it, it would bring them to our site. Once they're on our site, there will be a drop-down menu where they can select the appropriate pricing that they want in the membership. Now, even though you see the subscription and rebilling at $0, that's fine because it is the $3.99 and then converting over. So let's say we want to do the $24.95 non-reoccurring as the default button that the customer sees. We'll click on Set Default, and it's done. So as soon as they come to the iBill site, there'll be a drop-down bar, but the $24.95 non-reoccurring will be the main one that they see. And then they could drop down and they'll see this one, which will be the $3.99 trial, converting over each and every month to the $39.99. Now, one other thing that you are going to want to do is you're going to want to come to the Properties tab. This Properties tab, once the customer is done on the iBill site after they made the purchase, this is going to direct them to whatever page you want. So we can say www.xxx.com/login.aspx. Okay. If we are posting variables to you, you would want to check this box. If iBill is controlling the username and password and you are not using any htaccess, leave this unchecked. It will send the customer directly to there. If you do check this and we are not writing to an htaccess file, it will give the customer an error message when they try and go back to your page. So again, if you're unsure about this, please give us a call. But for the most part, if we are storing the username and password on our side and it's being managed through us, just leave that unchecked. And that's how we create payment buttons for your website. That's how you add a website into the iBill system. Normally, to get a site approved from pending, at least until you get your first response, could take up to 24 hours. But from there, it's a fairly simple process. Again, the last one that you have that we didn't cover was your edit button, and this is pretty much going to allow you to edit if you want to change the website name. And then there's an update on the side, but that's pretty much it as far as how you add your button and how you set up a website. Now, if you have a second website, you would just repeat the process, add your next site, add your post URL, again, which would be a carbon copy of this unless we are posting directly to this, and you would wait for the approval process, and then you would go through by setting up your, you would set up your buttons. Once your buttons are set up, you would set up your post script, and then you would go ahead and create an admin username and password so you can test it out. Doesn't matter which order you do these in, but they all need to be done.